Something I'm finding very interesting to experience just day to day is how this process makes you more functional. Hello. And more in touch with your normal life, because it is all inclusive. It is subtractive. It's at the root of everything, and it is below, to use a 2 or 3 dimensional metaphor. It is at the foundation, and it comes before anything you ever knew. And so the more you're acknowledging that part of reality, the better you can actually integrate and be content with the world around you without changing it, actually. And it'll sound paradox, but you are also affecting a change, because you are still acting in the world. Only that one little thing really changes once you start to see that it's not your little you, this little actor going through doing things, and by Newtonian logic pushing billiard balls, making them move. But it's all a harmonious symphony. That's a good analogy for it, because music, in its movements and waves, is so complex that it gets closer at actually reflecting what life really feels like. And that's why humans, this is one of the reasons why humans adore music. And it's likely one of the very, very first things, it's definitely one of the very first things that we were doing, creating sounds and harmonizing with each other in nature. And where I was really going was saying how it's just fascinating to see how, with all of this realization, you're letting go ideas that were restricting you. So it does actually make you functional in your life, because everyone has a little thing, several, but the little things that are just a simple task, but you have a resistance against them. Who knows if it's a childhood conditioning, if there is some other kind of trauma involved. Doesn't really matter. Everyone has a little thing that every day, maybe several times, bothers you and is hard for you to get over yourself and do. And that's actually a very good expression, getting over yourself, because it's little you making a stand and not being able to see a bigger picture, because it's inflating and it's pouting and it's pushing out its chest and feeling all unjustly treated. But you still have to go do the dishes. You still have to do the little thing. And with this process, that actually becomes more available to you, because those resistances are dissolving, and you no longer need to, for example, pin your identity on a like and dislike you used to have, and really, really be staunch about that, lest your identity crumble. And it goes the other way as well. It also makes you do things. I'm not saying it makes you a compliant automaton, going with the flow and doing whatever. You still retain the force of your personality, and if anything, just a very maybe heightened and especially a refined, maybe I'll say, sense of justice and right and wrong, so that you'll actually also do things that you wouldn't have done before. You know, standing up to someone, something like that. We'll just pass this lawnmower. The smell of freshly cut grass. It's so wonderful. To experience a sensory richness that you can't see. We're so focused on our eyes. It's when we hear and smell things and feel them. It's quite baffling and beautiful. Anyways, what is happening maybe to you also will get you in touch with reality and make you see things you've never seen before, because you beforehand were living in a tiny, tiny world, which was likely unbearable to you at some point, which is why you were looking for answers. And which is why channels like these, books, all sorts of things are beginning to resonate with you, whether you understand it or not. Because that tiny world, it's not for everyone. And there's probably a condescending note in that, because I don't claim to be perfect about this. I just can speak from the feeling of my experience that I was miserable there, and I can't deny that calling it a tiny world feels accurate. And for me, opening that up, although it means, growing pains and disillusionment and losing what you thought was reality and yourself, it's self-validating. It continues to prove that, at least for whatever is happening to me, this is what is supposed to happen. It's right. And other people, they don't constantly feel confronted with an existential suffering. And that's wonderful. For them, if they if they can live there, good. This is also a whole lot of trouble to figure out. So if you can be happy without it, that's great. That's why you probably, if you're watching some of these videos, are like, I don't get it. Good. So, thanks for stopping by, and bye, I guess. I'll acknowledge how this setting is not conducive to listening to me. So I'll say goodbye.